The gang stalkers are sniveling cowards. Yesterday I told them to meet me at a certain place. They didn't show up. Their greater network, they were too cowardly, they were too afraid. I put it in a way that even the most cowardly person would feel the need to man up and show up. You know, I'm not going to explore how that is. You know, I'll touch on it in the comments. And I communicated this to them in a way that they couldn't cite and fucking take me to the psych ward for, because I'm smarter than they are. So, you know, going back to the occults and their rapists. Okay, these people rape women all the time, and there's feminists on their side. Ask yourself, what kind of a person would pretend to be for women's rights, would have it constantly pointed out to them that what they're doing is not in the best interest of women, of females in general, little children, babies. You know, aborting babies, obviously, not in the baby's best interest. You know, breaking up the family is obviously not in the child's best interest. We all know from countless parenting studies and child psychology, we all know quite clearly that a strong family structure is the best environment for a child. You know, but you have feminists saying a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. You know, satanic feminists who want to break down the family structure just because the Bible promotes the family structure. If the Bible promotes it, they seek to attack it. They seek to try to discredit it every way they can. And there's nothing conclusive in the Bible that proves it wrong. You heard that from me first. Okay, nothing that conclusively proves it wrong. You know, things that come close, you know, are just metaphor. Oh, there was a great flood. It could be a metaphor. You got nothing. You got nothing. You know, the same people wouldn't allow this weak evidence, quote unquote, to be used against them in a court of law, but they think it magically proves the Bible wrong. I mean, complete hypocrites, you know. If this was, you know, if we're trying to convict the Bible of fraud, you know, they wouldn't be able to do it because there is no conclusive evidence that shows that it's wrong. Never has been, never will be, because it is right. So, when you look at these Satanists, who I know, I know for sure. See, the difference between me and these other people who are, you know, who have been exposed to this, not just from research, but in real life, is that I'm honest about it. I've met people who say very, very stupid things. In part one, when I played you the FBI video of the Satanists doing human sacrifices, I have met Satanists. In fact, I've interviewed one on this very channel who, in the comments, claimed that Satanists don't do human sacrifice. You know? After this person posted a picture of satanic paraphernalia and said, oh, well, you know, I just posted it because my client sent me that, but you posted it on your page, you know? For example, a fat bitch giving head to a fucking goat might send me a picture. What does it say about me when I post it, if I posted it on my page? You get my drift. So anyway, as I'm doing the research, as I'm seeing it for myself, as I'm seeing the reactions I get from people when I talk about this stuff, as I see the inferior arguments made by the people trying to downplay it, as I've seen Masons in their own books, I've seen at least 10, 12 books so far, not websites, but books made by Masons for different lodges, and of course Albert Pike's books and little, you know, pamphlets and writings as well, and they conclusively show that Masonry is satanic. There are, in one secret society alone, there are almost 2 million people who are, you know, in the closet Satanists. This idea that law enforcement cracks down on satanic cults is a complete joke. A complete joke. And when they do, there's damage control. It never truly comes out in a definitive way for all of us to see and hear that satanic cults were started by the FBI and the CIA. You know? And certainly it doesn't come out that the CIA was started by people in secret societies. That the secret societies were the intelligence networks of nations before it was all spies and secret societies before you had official intelligence agencies such as the OSI and then the CIA. So what does that tell you? course, you have the bastards like the OSS. But we won't get into that. It just reminded me of that. So anyway, with this cult thing, you know, I'm trying to, you know, I kind of jumped into this video because I received 2 distracting phone calls, and they knew damn well what they're doing, you know. The other point I was going to get into about, you know, that definitively prove secret societies more than, you know, the royal families and their rituals and the history of cult control, and how every major civilization, every major empire had a cult behind it on record. Very interesting how that works. You know, I've talked in my other videos about the Jacobins and how they killed a lot of Christians, and how America celebrates it. The French Revolution and the American Revolution, both of them, the main theme that most people don't grasp is that they were revolutions against Christianity. They attacked Christianity. They said, we're going to separate ourselves from the control of the Europeans, nations, and their churches. You know, in France, we're going to attack all church, you know, all the clergy who don't concede our point, which is a nonsensical point. It had a certain word, I forgot what it was. You know, it's not that important, but it basically means the people who didn't, you know, they take away the land. Not only do they take away the land, in many cases they would destroy it the best way they can, so that nobody could plant anything on it. And it's very occult as well. These people are very much into sacred space. If you look into the religion of Satanism, you know, they say things such as your house is your sacred space. If someone disrespects you in your house, you know, destroy them. I believe that was in what was it called, the Bible of Satan, the Satanic Bible or something like that. I believe LaVey wrote that. So they're very much into this sacred space. And a lot of religions have the same thing, such as cemeteries and churches and mosques and synagogues and Israel and so on and so forth. Satanism is a perversion, a dark perversion of these things. You know, cults, without a doubt, exist to the point where the Aryan Brotherhood, which I've seen some documentaries claim are the most violent prison gang, you know, have 666 on them because they're alliance to the occult. And the Mexican Mafia, since they were aligned to the Aryan Brotherhood, were obviously aligned to the occult as well by default. And of course they modeled themselves after the Italian Mafia, who modeled themselves after the secret society structure, burning saints and calling themselves a secret society, and secret meetings and secret membership and the whole nine. In fact, the mafia term, if you really pay close attention, is applied for groups that model themselves after secret societies, including, you know, high-powered secret membership, secret rituals, secret goals, and a certain working relationship with governments, secret governments especially. So, you know, from the Yakuza having a powerful stronghold in Japan, where they're a legitimate organization for the most part, you know, cults and secret societies have always run society. And since, you know, for example, if I'm in charge of, you know, a gang and we're going around and raping and killing everybody, and, you know, then it's safe to say that I'm to blame because I'm in charge. So when you have a world of chaos and rape and sex trafficking and mass murder and covert drugging and drug dealing and so on and so forth, it's safe to say that the people in charge are to blame. Especially when there's a major secret society controlling all these different organizations, institutions, and secret societies and political movements. You know? I mean, there is no way around this. There is absolutely no way around this. Satanic cults, on record, control society. Some of us, such as myself, have done the research and proven it definitively. Others of us, you know, just don't know what the hell to think. And even, and others, you know, think that they know better, that, oh, that couldn't be the case. And then others know that I'm right, and they're denying it out of fear, out of cowardice, out of dishonor, out of complicity. So when all is said and done, these pernicious dogs operate with impunity, above scrutiny, and you are under the auspices of their subordinates. So you are absolutely marginalized. You are absolutely controlled. In programming, we have if-then statements. If, else, else if, so on. You've been given a list of options. If you're going to do it legitimate, these are your options. You know, you can be a plumber, a lawyer, you can be a clerk at McDonald's, and so on and so forth. And if you choose that, these are the rules that you're going to follow. You know, it's all laid out. It's all programmed. It's all programming. It's all software development. It's all human development, social planning, social development. And you're given a list of options. And if you choose to be a criminal, there's if, else, if, there's this statement again. If you choose to be a criminal and do it right, you can get away with it your whole life. If you work for these secret society scumbags who are above the law, you'll probably get away with it your whole life. If you choose to be a street gang member, you probably won't get away with your whole life. If you choose to be a street gang member who collaborates and informs on the other gang members, well, you probably will have certain perks and you'll probably get away with it for a long time. So there's these certain rules that are laid out. You're being given a list of options. What the fuck is this? This is the third phone call of lowly fucking scum who have called me during a fucking this because they know that I'm right and they're trying to stop me. Hello? You have the wrong number. Lowly dogs calling me to interrupt me. Okay, since I made this, you can notice I had the same shirt on. Okay? After this video, I'm going to take the shirt off and I'm going to put on a different shirt, you know? You understand me? Wow. 4 phone calls. 4 phone calls in 45 minutes or less. You know? Because I'm telling you the truth. You know, these people, that's what's called organized harassment. That is what's called gang stalking. Gang harassment, organized stalking, covert psychological operations, psyop. It's a psychological effect. Piss them off. They see that I'm making this very calm, so they're trying to bring out that anger so they can say he's talking crazy. Because when I say it like this, you know, the government is watching us all. You know, it's a surveillance state. It's a police state. And there's many records, and there's Snowden and Assange, and they're, you know, we know for sure they're doing this. There's countless articles about this. There's countless valid sources. Okay, when I say it like that, perfectly believable. What happens when I say it like this? They're fucking watching. They're watching. You know, they're watching me. You know, they're recording my keystrokes. They're tapping my phone. They're calling me off the hook. And you see what I'm saying? You see the difference? I'm saying the same thing 2 different ways, and the way that I say it when I'm upset is actually more logical if you truly think about it. When I said it all calm, that was the more weird way to do it. Because I'm talking about something that gets you agitated and worked up. But then they'll say you have an emotional disorder. A bunch of organized human trafficking, sex offenders, pedophiles, thieves, and killers are going to say that you have a problem in your brain. The biggest sickos of all. A bunch of Satanists in mental health. On record, the worst criminals, drug-pushing organized crime that invest in Pfizer and Abbott and big pharmaceutical companies, on record, complete demonic scum, psychopath trash, just selfish murderers, a bunch of sensitive LGBT people who are on record works. A lot of doctors are gay, a lot of their staff and psych wards and mental health staff and psychologists and therapists are LGBT trash. Just go to San Francisco or Hollywood if you don't believe me. On record, liberal fucking gay trash. Sensitive, sick in the head. Homosexuality used to be a mental disorder because there is some truth to that. You have to be a sick fuck to be in that state of mind. Atheist idiots who can't grasp that there's no explanation for how we could possibly exist other than an almighty God that was powerful enough to defy time and create himself, thus being the first thing. Idiots. Racist fools with a complex, an inferiority complex. I hate these people because they're threatening my place in society because I'm inferior and incapable of competing with them. I'm out of time. Thank you.